listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio once again. It is another day, another time. We have another show with a special guest. Today, we get the honor talking to the CEO of Brill Media, Robert Brill himself. He has an amazing story. We're going to learn everything about what he knows about advertising. He's been doing it since 2003. He has many golden nuggets, I'm sure, for the show. We're going to learn about his story. But first and foremost, let me introduce him and say, how you doing today, Robert?
Hey, Shamaya, nice to meet you. Just one thing. Are you recording? Should you be recording on this?
Oh, I'm at the radio station, so I'm on my backup.
Nice. Okay, cool. Sorry, I wasn't sure.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, Shamaya, nice to meet you. Really appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate your time. I know you're super busy, man. So before we jump into your business and what you're doing today currently, kind of paint the picture for the audience a little bit. What is your background story and what got you to being your own boss?
Yeah, so live in Los Angeles, grew up, parents lived in an apartment all their life, and, you know, there was no backup, there was no inheritance, there was just gotta make it happen for yourself. And, you know, I went to school at Cal State Northridge here in Los Angeles and worked 10 years in advertising, and then at the 10-year mark started my own agency. And now I've been doing this for a total of 20 years. And our job is to generate leads and sales for businesses and train up other agencies so they can be successful in that space as well.
And for those who are not familiar with digital advertising agencies, kind of break it down. What is the main core of what you do day in, day out for your clients? Yeah,
absolutely. So, the vast majority of us have been on and are routinely on Meta, so Facebook and Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Google. And every time you see an ad, like on Facebook, for example, it says sponsored. You'll scroll, you get 4 or 5 posts that are relevant to you. And then one of those will be an ad. And so our job, it's called paid media or media buying. Our job is to get ads in front of the right people at the right time, so they buy stuff. And, you know, if you've watched Mad Men, a lot of Mad Men work, they're creative agencies. And they're agencies that, you know, develop the imagery, produce the videos, shoot the photos, edit things, come up with phrases like, just do it, with the goal of compelling people. So we don't do the creative work. We do the math and the data work, which is all about using data and algorithms to get the right ad in front of the right people. And the best example of that is, you know, one of my clients many years ago used to be Guitar Center. And I don't play the guitar. I don't play any instruments. So Guitar Center serving me an ad would be very much irrelevant to them because I'm never going to buy anything from Guitar Center. But PetSmart serving me an ad for something about dogs is very relevant because I have 2 dogs and I'm married and, you know, I have a child and all that. So our job is to create relevancy with the advertising messages. So when we talk about advertising, we're really talking about buying ad space. And just to get into a little bit of a further nuance on this, the fundamental difference between advertising and other marketing efforts is that advertising means you're paying to deliver a message. So I have to buy advertising space on Facebook, on Google, on TikTok, on Hulu, on your local news and sports site. That's very different than like search engine optimization, which is about getting ranked on Google, or content posting on social media, which is about posting relevant information. So advertising, by definition, is paying for space to deliver a message.
When you look at case studies with your data that you have been able to study for all these years, what are some of the main principles of a a brand that is ready to work with you versus a brand that might need some more fine tuning as far as their message and what they're selling?
Yeah. So most of our clients are actually other agencies, just to make it more complex. We go to market as a white label media buying firm. And what that means in practice is those creative shops that I mentioned, that they know how to make really compelling imagery and videos and words on a screen. It's very different work than the data work of buying advertising space. And so we partner up with creative firms, with social media firms, with like strategy firms, the firms that do the thinking and know how to get things done. We partner up with them and they pair up their internal services of like creative development with our advertising, our paid media services. So we go to market together. So actually, the vast majority of our clients are other agencies. To a lesser degree, we work directly with businesses. And the way we structure it is a business who has $1,500 a month to spend in advertising can work with us. And our largest clients are spending about $500,000 a month. The final thing to note here is, since we're talking about like the types of clients we take, we also have an agency accelerator program for anyone who, like, they have Napoleon Hill has this saying, the burning desire. He's an author that talks about business success. The burning desire. So anyone who has a burning desire to start an advertising agency or has been in sales for many years and knows how to sell, we have an agency accelerator program which gives you everything you need to turn that burning desire into an actual successful business with the strength that you have, paired up with the knowledge and insights that we have about the marketplace.
In today's world of technology just going super lightning fast, it's like hard to keep up, but you as a professional, you're keeping up with all the trends, all the latest tools. Let's talk about TV. I mean, TV over the years has been very interesting. A lot of changes. A lot of people today are probably more aware with connected TV, that term, versus like old school in the 90s, 80s maybe. What are some of the benefits of connected TV advertising and how your business is using that as leverage?
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, television ad buying is about, so let's break out. There's traditional television when you watch television on NBC or ABC or CBS or USA on cable, whatever the case is. That world is going away. There are far fewer people watching those channels and far more people on connected TV, Hulu, Roku, Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc. And the first thing to think about is advertising needs to be about where consumers are. And if people are moving away from television, moving into streaming content, then advertisers need to be on streaming content and being there and sharing their messages that way. So just by the definition of we need to reach people and get them to take action, it's far more advantageous to be on connected television running ads than to be on television running ads. And then, like Amazon Prime is going to start coming out with advertising this year on their channels, unless you increase the subscription by $2.99 a month. So number one, it's about reaching people. Number two, it's about good creative. I always say I'm a data guy. I'm a numbers person. Still, creative is the absolute king of advertising because creative is compelling. And media, ad buying is queen. It's the ability to distribute the content to get reach. So success on connected television is about using data, and it's about using targeting and running great creative. What's interesting about connected TV is that we have the same data that can be used on digital channels, like when you run ads on the web. We can target based on behaviors, on purchases, on where you go in the physical world, where you're going to travel to, the type of lifestyle you live, whether you live in the country or the city, whether you have a new car, an old car, whether you have 2 kids or no kids. All those behaviors and data points get funneled through the advertising ecosystem so that ads are delivered uniquely to individuals. Just like going back to that example of Guitar Center. One person in the household or one household might be getting ads for Guitar Center, and the next household over might be getting ads for PetSmart because of the different behavioral profiles.
Once again, talking to our guest today, CEO of Brill Media, Robert Brill. You can go to his website, brillmedia.co.co. When you look at the opportunities of how massive, I would say, the opportunities are for you to work with so many different industries and brands, what is this thing called creative testing, and how do you use that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for anyone running advertising on Meta, the key thing to consider is, first of all, 45% of all digital advertising will run on either Meta or Google. There's a duopoly. So chances are, if you're running a business and you need to generate sales, you're probably going to be running ads on Meta. And the fundamental premise that should be known is that advertising is a real-time focus group. So if you think about old school focus groups, right? When you get 10 people in a room, you have them watch a show or a commercial or whatever, and then you ask them a bunch of questions and you get a sense of who, is this good or is this bad? You watch a movie, and at the end of the movie say, did you like the ending of the movie? Did you not like the ending of the movie? So you don't have to do any of that anymore. With advertising, you'll know from the data of the campaign what people like and what people don't like. So the goal of creative testing fundamentally is to give businesses insight into what people like and what people don't like. And the output of that can dramatically alter the business, because the business can understand, like, if you sell a bunch of products, which one product is the best that people love the most, which then the implication is you have the ability to then not create or produce or try to market those other subpar products that people don't actually want from you, and focus your time, effort, and manufacturing, for example, on the one or two products that people love. So it's a feedback mechanism, and creative testing is really just a way to tighten up not only your advertising and marketing efforts, but also your business fundamentals and the insights around your business.
Every great brand, every great business that provides a service has a great team. Kind of describe the culture in your company and how you set things as far as setting a tone on reaching y'all's goals and also delivering for your clients.
Yeah, so when you talk about business growth, one of the key learnings that we found is that standard operating procedure is critical. It's a must-have for business growth. So culture is important. People shouldn't be afraid to ask questions. People need to know that when they ask questions and they make mistakes, that they'll be okay. Like, we encourage people making mistakes so that they learn something, and maybe they don't make mistakes in the future of that nature, and it's something else. So we need to create a safe, secure environment for people to thrive. There's also a ton of autonomy in our business, so all of that creates a safe space. What creates growth that parallels that safe environment, or that capitalizes on that safe environment, is standard operating procedure. It's this idea that every action that people take, there is a process, there's a checklist, there's a series of tasks for them to do that are noted, written somewhere, updated, and enforced routinely. And I know this from personal experience. There was a period of time over a summer one year where we grew from 2 people to 7 people over the course of like 3-4 months. And no one was happy. Clients weren't happy. I wasn't happy. The new employees weren't happy. No one was happy. I said, what's going on here? It took a while until a good friend who ultimately became our chief operating officer told me that the reason why things are falling off the rails is because there's no standard operating procedure. No one knows what they really should be doing. They don't know what comes next or what comes first, where their job ends and where someone's job begins. So as a result, we implemented a standard operating procedure, and we've been able to grow. and sustain that growth over many years. And we're in a round 2 iterative cycle of creating or mapping out our growth engines and mapping out our playbooks so that we understand exactly, we can visually see what's happening at every step of the business so that anyone who ever has any questions, whether they're a new person or they've been here for many years, they can refer to these series of documents and understand what comes next. So it doesn't all live in someone's brain. Because if it all lives in someone's brain, that person can't take a vacation.
Yeah.
So we need, and that goes back to the culture. We need people to be able to take vacations and ensure that they're not going to get bothered 3 times a day with questions while they're on an island somewhere sipping on pina coladas.
Exactly. Man, I like that point. Man, switching gears back to businesses who hire you for your expertise and just basically you being their guy because they're trusting you with their baby, their brand. When it comes to being able to sustain the growth of opportunities, if you will, based on data, I mean, what is a point where you have to go to the client and say, all right, for you to grow and get to the next level, these are some adjustments you may need to consider and maybe how they operate or how they brand, or if that makes sense.
100%. I mean, look, we go to market as an advertising firm. We end up being a business consultancy for our clients for a few reasons. Number one, just to get started working with us, we're asking you very, very deep and specific questions about the business. How do you make money? What are your economics? What is your customer acquisition cost? What is the lifetime value of a customer? We're getting deep into the weeds at the very beginning. Why do people buy from you? What's your transformative value? What have you done with marketing that has worked and what hasn't worked? What are the challenges with your business? Like we're trying to uncover all the things under the rocks that people don't really want to talk about. And it's successful from that perspective of uncovering that information because we're trusted and, we don't spill the beans to other people. And all we know is that for us to be successful, we need to uncover those truths about the business so we can collectively grow. So when you talk about all those elements, we get to tell the client truths about their business from our perspective that they may not be doing. And the reality is that some advertisers don't know how to work with an agency. They don't realize that things need to be deliberate. When I say deliberate, like develop, they need to develop ads or we'll develop ads for them, or another agency will develop ads for them. That can't happen in 24 hours. Like we need a timeline. We need calendars. We need procedure and process, the same process that was successful in growing our business. We implement systems with our clients to ensure that there's fast communication, but nothing is rushed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and if a client's like, look, things aren't successful. Why aren't they successful? We will tell them very directly the things they need to do to improve their business so that they can just get a good advertising campaign. One of the biggest mistakes that we see with mostly small businesses is they will jump around a lot. They'll work with an agency for like 3 months and they'll say, it doesn't work. And they'll move on to the next one. Then we're the 5th agency they work with. What ends up happening is there's no consistency for them. They lose on the consistency. They lose on having and forging a deeper relationship. They don't have the ability to go deep on working with a partner who knows other things than the business knows so that they can work collaboratively to grow. So one of the points of advice that we give to mostly small businesses is advertising is not a light switch. You can't just turn it on and it automatically will triple your business in 2.5 weeks. It's a practice. And because it's a practice, it literally means you continuously practice it every single day. and you look for incremental improvement over time. And that's how businesses develop a really valuable marketing apparatus that results in predictable, repeatable, and scalable business growth. But jumping around to agencies is not the way to accomplish that. Going deep with a relationship is how you accomplish that business growth.
A lot of people are understanding nowadays advertisement is all around us. I mean, from our phone, from billboards. I mean, billboards are now digital boards.
Yeah.
What do you see in the near future, how advertising can be used, or will it just kind of remain the way it is right now with all that we have, you know, these sources coming at us for advertisement?
Yeah, I think the framework for right now will remain, but the activation of that framework will change. So what I mean by that is we're all familiar with screens, right? We understand that screens give us at least a single form of communication, and our mobile devices many types of communication, like imagery and text and calls, etc., right? So a few trends that are going to be, you know, not mind-blowing trends. Number one, there will be more screens around us. To your point, the digital out-of-home screens, which we also like to buy those ads. They're very effective. So more screens. As cars become autonomous, though, that there will be opportunities for screens inside cars to deliver advertising. Any aggregation of consumers becomes an ad network. And an ad network is a place to deliver ads to lots of people to grow businesses. For example, Uber. Uber has many, I don't know exactly how many people, tens of millions or hundreds of millions of customers, like let's say in the United States. There are opportunities to deliver ads on the Uber app because it has an aggregation of people. Waymo, when in a decade or so, when autonomous cars become normalized and people just take autonomous cars and they don't have to focus their attention on driving, you'll be on your phone competing with a screen in the car that will then give you content and ads. You see the same type of example at gas stations, right? There's GSTV, the gas station television network, where you have like probably like 30 seconds of some sort of content and then like 30 seconds of ads. You see that with Link NYC, when you have the urban panels, the street level panels, where it's like subway information, local business information, and then like 30 seconds of ads. So anywhere there's a screen, there's an opportunity for an ad. The biggest, like literally in size and investment, is the MSG sphere, where it's like $450,000 a day to take over the MSG sphere. It's an ad.
That's
so
awesome, yeah.
Ad networks. Where there's an aggregation of people, there are ad networks.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to jump in. There's a time I went to New York, and I remember seeing this. It's like a ton of digital billboards out there, but this one specific one, I won't say what it was, but it was very interesting. And so when I got back from my vacation, I was like, let me look into this. And believe it or not, this company that owned this space, this screen, and very perfect prime real estate, it was Times Square area. It was perfect. So like when people before they cross the street, and it's huge. It's like a big, huge billboard. And to my understanding, you can run the ad for a very, very reasonable rate because this company owned this piece of screen. And
100%.
I tried it. I put something together that had some basic requirements for you to edit a video clip. And it was really for a social media experience. Like, it wasn't like leave your number, because it's very unique because there's no sound, no nothing. It's just like you moving, you can flash a graphic, or you can do what you can based on the rules per se. So I was like, all right, this is pretty interesting. So it was great for like someone who's in the music industry or someone who just wanted to say hi to a loved one or whatever. And so I tried it. Man, it was an amazing experience, because not only did they own that, but they provided a way for you to know what time it will be in New York when it was going to run. And here's the
catch. Have a camera.
Yeah. And it was live stream. And here's the catch. It was 15 seconds of fame. And when I went to their Facebook page, it was so crazy. People love it because only you get 15 seconds of fame. But everyone knows New York is massive. So the amount of eyeballs that can see your 15 seconds of fame is powerful. So to your point, where the people are is where a big opportunity is for people who are using these tools to get people exposed to new ideas and new services and just new people in general.
100%.
What do you see, maybe something like that, to just explore it? Could there be possibly other places in the United States where companies can take advantage of those opportunities and say, you know what, there's a lot of people in this area of this city. Why won't we just create something, own it, and make it another way to get the word out, or not get the word out, get the visuals out, if you will?
How much, if you don't mind me asking, how much did you pay for that?
It was only $50, man. It's basically $50 for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And only one time. It only once runs. Once you run in 15 seconds, you have to pay again. So they're making bank.
Right. So look, I think you take that and you make a business case for it, and the solution is the following. We do that routinely for our clients. Digital out of home compared to standard out of home, where there's a physical screen that gets painted on to a billboard. Those are very expensive because you have to buy the billboard for a period of time. You have to manufacture the physical print and not to mention design it. With digital advertising in this space, your experience was you upload an image or an animation or a video, and it airs for 15 seconds. You can do that if you have $200, $500, $1,000, whatever the number is. You can do that in any city around the country, assuming they have screens, digital out-of-home screens. Like if you had $50, we could run a campaign for you all around, pick your city, and your ads would show up on a bunch of different screens around the city.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful, man. And that's why I wanted to explore that, because I'm learning as the audience right now, Lance. So I'm getting excited too. This is pretty awesome. When you, as we wrap this up, Brill Media, you can go to the website, brillmedia.co. What separates you, your brand, what your team offers, compared to someone who could just be somebody who just, cash at me, I'm going to run your ads for you on Instagram? What's the difference?
We provide strategy, we provide business insights, and you cannot replicate the 20 years of experience with someone on Cash App unless they have 20 years of experience as well. What you're really paying for is the experience so that you don't make bad investments with your advertising. Perfect. Because the person on Cash App doesn't have that strategic insight and isn't interested in a long-term relationship. We are.
Once again, talking to the CEO of Brill Media, Robert Brill. Go to his website. It's super easy, brillmedia.co. Can't believe how fast time has flown. Someone listening to this show and they're ready to call your team up. Is there any prerequisites, any interviews that they had to plan for to make sure that they can be a good fit with your services?
Yeah, I mean, from a financial perspective, you have $1,500 a month to spend in advertising. At the very least, or you want to learn more about how advertising works through our agency accelerator program. That program is $197 a month directly on your credit card. Weekly calls with me, four intensive sprints about the mechanics of advertising so you can have a better understanding of it. And the goal is anyone who wants to start an agency and has that burning desire to make it happen, we can get you to that point of success. But if not, go to our website, click on Start Now, share your information, and you'll be prompted in an email to schedule a time with me, and we'll have a conversation about your marketing strategy and look for ways to help your business grow.
Once again, this is I Am Refocused Radio, talking to CEO of Brill Media, Robert Brill. Thank you once again, Robert, for your time.
Thanks, Shemaya. Appreciate it.